Now, weeks after her disappearance, police say they now have an idea of where Hana Kobayashi is, but Hana's family isn't so sure. Right? And for those that are unfamiliar with the case, Hana's this 30-year-old Hawaiian woman that's been missing since November 11th. And with that, we have a pretty clear idea of what the few days leading up to her disappearance looked like. Right? We know that on November 8th, she was on a flight from Maui to New York City with a layover in LA. Her family saying that she had plans to stay with an aunt in upstate New York and to take pictures at a DJ show in Brooklyn. But then, Hana didn't board her connecting flight, and the next day, she was spotted at a bookstore in LA, and she made a couple of Venmo transactions to unidentified people. Then, on the 10th, she shared a photo on Instagram of the LeBron 22 trial event at a Nike store. And in fact, a YouTube video went up showing her at the event. Right, and then we get to the 11th, the last day that anyone heard anything from Hana before she disappeared. They're reportedly texting her mom to tell her that she never made it to New York and sending a couple concerning messages to a friend, reportedly saying things like, "Deep hackers wiped my identity, stole all of my funds, and have had me on a mindfuck since Friday, and I got tricked pretty much into giving away all of my funds." And following that second one up with, "For someone I thought I loved." And with that, you had her sister Sydney saying that some of the last messages that Hana sent seemed out of character for her, right? Using words she normally wouldn't. And this, a surveillance video caught her at a downtown LA metro station near Crypto.com arena with some unidentified guy, and then boom, she's gone. But then a few days later, on the 15th, the LAPD missing persons unit making a poster about Hana's disappearance, and the Maui PD saying they were assisting in the search as well. Right? And that's also when Hana's family made a GoFundMe, with them promising to use the funds for feeding search teams, a media campaign to maximize awareness, and supporting their family, among other things. But then, after that, Hana's aunt Laura giving an interview with CNN saying, "Our mind is now going to, abduction, and I hate to say the word, but, trafficked. We're doing the best that we can, but the family at this point is having to come to the reality that those things could be a possibility." And just a few days after her disappearance, Hana's father, Ryan Kobayashi, traveled to LA to help look for her, telling CNN at the time, "Hana loved to travel. She loved photography, art, music. I wasn't too close with her growing up. We haven't had contact for a while. I'm just trying to make up. I'm trying to get her back. That's my main focus." With Ryan then spending 13 days searching before he was found dead, with the Los Angeles County medical examiner ruling his death a suicide. And the family then saying in a statement, "The search for our beloved Hana must continue with the same love and determination that Ryan would have wanted. We need your help. We need your strength. Our family needs you. The search for our dear Hana must continue with unwavering hope and determination. She is still out there, and we believe that together we can bring her home." And what we ended up seeing was that Ryan's death really kicked this story into high gear. The attention around Hana's disappearance, it exploded. Countless headlines and internet sleuths looking to get to the bottom of this. Find Hana. Reddit pages popping up titled "Find Hana Kobayashi," with people sharing links and updates and many, many theories out there that I'm not going to dive into. But I mean, even real private investigators picked up on the case and they dove into it. But it wasn't until now that we got a real substantial update, with the LAPD classifying Hana as a voluntary missing person, with them saying that they have video surveillance from US Customs and Border Protection which shows Hana crossing the border into Mexico alone on November 12th. They also went on to say that Hana requested her luggage from her missed flight to New York to be sent back to LAX, where she picked it up on November 11th, with her then taking her bag to Los Angeles Union Station, where she bought a ticket to take her to the US-Mexico border. And all of this is notably the person that she was seen with by the Crypto.com arena was reportedly found and cooperated with police, and they were able to verify his story. And you had investigators adding that before leaving Maui, Hana wanted to disconnect from modern technology, with Lieutenant Douglas Oldfield of the LAPD saying, "We just know that she did not have her phone after she left LAX. We know she doesn't have her phone on her. For what reason? We can't say for sure. But what we do know is that at this point, the LAPD says that Hana left the country of her own volition, with the chief of the LAPD, Jim McDonnell, adding, "To date, the investigation has not uncovered any evidence that Kobayashi is being trafficked or is the victim of foul play. She is also not a suspect in any criminal activity. She has a right to her privacy, and we respect her choices, but we also understand the concern her loved ones feel for her." And finally here, saying that they wouldn't be pushing the investigation past the border, but will likely get a notification if Hana comes back to the States. Right, and with that, they implored Hana to reach out to her family or the US Embassy so that people know that she's safe. Now, notably, with all this was not the ending that many were hoping for or expecting. In fact, what we actually ended up seeing were a number of people online getting angry with Hana after this update, saying things like, "I have zero empathy for Hana Kobayashi. If you want to leave, let your family know. She selfishly left the country and pretended to be missing. Her father took his own life while the police spend so much time looking for her." So this also as others turn their vitriol towards the family. With, for example, Hana's sister Sydney saying on Facebook that she had to pull down the page that she made to help find Hana because they were getting death threats. And all of this is there have also been calls for the GoFundMe donations to be returned. But then, in addition to all that, there are some that just aren't buying this latest update at all, by saying that things don't add up and there has to be a missing piece to the puzzle. And some of those people include Hana's family, with Sydney saying that their family wasn't shown the video that supposedly proves Hana walked over the border, and their family attorney adding they just reached this conclusion without showing them any footage. It takes a lot more digging and investigation to be able to say it's voluntary. And the skepticism here, it extends outside of the family, with, for example, a private investigator and former FBI agent saying that the LAPD should release the video from the border, saying, "I think it's entirely possible that the LAPD LAPD misidentified a person in this video with all the other border crossings. As such, I'm calling on LAPD to release the video publicly. The family will know if it's Hannah. So with that, you also had Sydney adding that even if it is Hannah in the video, there are still more sinister possibilities to be explored, saying the LAPD say that they have seen her alone, but that doesn't discount the fact that someone could be watching her from afar, knowing how big this case has gotten and maybe controlling her or telling her what to do. And so now, despite the LAPD's findings here, you have Hannah's family promising to continue looking for her, with them even reportedly planning on sending searchers into Mexico. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this clip from the full Philip DeFranco show. And also, a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring our Clips channel. Turn your passion into profit over at squarespace.com/Phil, or use the QR code. Because whether you're launching a business or a lucrative side hustle, your website is your digital business card. It's the only space where you control the story, no algorithms or distractions. And with Squarespace, it's so easy because they got a ton of stunning professional templates with drag and drop editing that makes site design incredibly simple, no coding required. So get started for free at squarespace.com/Phil, or scan the QR code on screen and use code Phil for 10% off when ready to launch. Squarespace.com/Phil.